Okay, for safety's concern, I added this angle iron plate to cover the bottle. Because I just thought, if a hot piece of slag went right through that tank, it'd blow up basically right in my face, which would not be good. So actually I think in order for my prototype, I'm going to have move the tank away and run a line along the stinger and run a nozzle down along the length of the electrode, just kind of like a carbon arc torch, but rather than blowing air down, I'll be blowing down heated flame. Propane would be fine because it's cost effective to create a plasma. So that's all we need, just a little of the plasma's free ions to excite the weld process, and it's kind of like a high frequency device on a TIG welder. But this is on when, and I'll have a trigger to where I can actually ignite it just by starting the electrode. It will ignite the gas. So I'll have a switch on the side of my... I'm going to go get the parts actually today. I'll get a little torch, mount it right to there, and just have it blow right down the length of that electrode. And that would direct it away from me and keep the fuel away from me as well. I'll run a propane line along the length of the weld cord, which might actually help cool it off too, if it were flowing enough. If I put my regulator upstream, then it would depressurize and actually cool some of that electrode, because it gets very hot. In fact, that electrode cable's spent. It's got I can step on it and actually hear the fibers. They're crystallized from being baked and broiled from the current running through at high enough heat. So, but that cable's probably a good 10 years old anyway. So the new Stealth Weld has the charge meter, which is kind of being tested. It's not exactly the most accurate charge state of charge meter. I've got an EV charge port here with a mods EV charger, high frequency rapid charger. Works great. So I typically run about a half an electrode at a time. That gives me about 30% duty cycle so far. I can get higher duty cycle, but it's for longevity throughout the entire day. I like to burn about a third of an electrode at a time. Most welders are about 20% duty cycle anyway, but this one here is right around 30. In the future with lithium-ion batteries, I should be able to get up there beyond 50 or 60% duty cycle, which would be great. Okay, but we're also dealing with very high currents here of about 500 plus amps. And it just burns up stuff. Here's an example of a clamp that was heavily pitted and disfigured. And this is rated for 400 amps. And it's junk. So now I put on this new Jackson one, which actually is built heavier duty, but it's only rated for 300 amps. It's hard to find higher amperage rated stingers and components, ground clamps, cables, things like that. They're just very hard to get good connectors, and I have proprietary connectors inside Stealth Weld which enable its proprietary harness to create unity, power factor, so that the resonance, capacitive reactance, and inductive reactance are resonating together, creating unity. And then the weldment itself actually attenuates and moderates the energies, giving the weldment exactly what it wants. So it's very akin to a quantum welding process. Intrinsic, metallurgic, energetic welding. So it's hard to find words that explain this because it's a new concept, and it's getting better over years. When I've finally been able to implement some better materials and better battery technologies here coming out of Tesla here soon. Let's hope. Alright, that's it for now. This is Tyson, CT, with ARC-JET-WELD, CT Machinery Systems. Thank you.